everybody, it is Yasmin Vorajee here, and welcome to episode 1 of the Tiny Time Big Results Google Hangout show. If you're raising a family and building a business and you've limited time, doesn't stop you from creating an amazing business and life. And in this show, I'm going to be sharing with you amazing resources and people to show you how. Now, you can probably hear that I have a little friend with me, and the plan was that she wouldn't be here. However, she decided that she wanted to also be part of this hangout. So I do apologise for the fact that we now have an extra little person here broadcasting. But as I say, I've got tiny time, big results. I'm raising a family. I'm building a business. So I really am walking my walk and talking my talk as well. So today's 15-minute hangout is really all about how to get super specific with your niche. And this is something that has really taken me a long time to get to grips with, and it was something that I really struggled with as well. And so I wanted to share with you 3 really important tips about how you can get super specific, because there's lots of training out there about finding your niche and finding your tribe, and truth be told, that it is one of the things that could potentially trip you up more than anything else, because until you have this really battened down, or you've really laid that foundation, everything else is so much more difficult. I remember when I first started out and I was asking, well, where are my ideal clients hanging out? And until you know who they are, it's really hard to find them. It makes sense, it completely makes intellectual sense, but it was just so hard to do to begin with. So what I wanted just to kind of, I suppose, start the session off with is really thinking about, well, why is a niche important? And the reason why a niche is so important, or as our American friends like to call it, a niche, but a niche is really important because it really defines who you are serving. And in business, for me, priceless precision is critical, especially when you have tiny time and you want to get big results. So for me, when I'm thinking about a niche, and you're thinking about what your business does and who it serves, you've got to be clear on that. And I hear so many people talking about anybody who, and oh, it's for everybody. Oh, everybody needs this. And whilst it may be true from your perspective that you think everyone needs this information, everyone needs this content, the key thing to remember, though, is that when you're trying to market to everybody, nobody's going to be listening because they can't tell that it's for them. So if you're watching me right now and you're thinking, okay, so she's got a little baby in her hands, you know that I'm talking to you because you probably have your baby in your arms too. And the best laid plans and all that, I thought she'd be asleep by now. I've fed her, I've changed her nappy, and I've done everything that I should have done. And she's still wide awake, as you can see, wearing her very delightful Kermit the Frog t-shirt today. So, you know I'm talking to you. And I know that it doesn't stop anybody else from listening, because tiny time, big results, there's so many people out there who have tiny time, whether you're working a full-time job and you're trying to start a business on the sidelines, or you're a dad. Most of my clients are women, but if you're a dad, you're probably thinking, well, this applies to me too. So just because I have a niche where I primarily work with women who have babies and who are running a business doesn't mean that everybody else can't listen. But it means that I'm being really clear and I'm talking to you. And that's why a niche is so important. That when you're thinking about your niche, you're thinking about, well, who am I talking to? You know, you imagine just one person. Who would that person be? And some of my clients, you know, even though we finished working, you know, we will still be in touch because they still get huge amounts of value from what I'm sharing. So the way that I like to think of a niche is really thinking about it's really focused attention. Now, this is something that I'm really passionate about, and if you've never thought about life, you've never thought about your business, if you've never thought about your relationships in this way, I want you to think about the fact that everything that we have right now is right now. There's no future, there's no past. The only thing that exists right now is right now, this present moment. So what does that mean then when you start thinking about your niche? When you're focused in your attention, everything just changes. Because now you're being really deliberate, you're being really precise about what it is that you're trying to create. And if we only have this moment, then right now, in this moment, I'm talking to you, talking to all of my listeners from around the world, all my viewers from around the world, who are listening about how they can be super specific in their niche. And this is something that I do with my clients. And I know that this is something that can be a real challenge, purely because I also had the same challenge. And there's nothing quite like talking to somebody who has experienced something firsthand. Hey, is this my Hangout or is this your Hangout? So let me be really clear. When you pick a niche, it's about your focused attention, and that's all it is. Don't let it get you stressed out and think, oh, I'm still not clear on my niche, because I can't tell you how many times I was also panicking and thinking, oh, I still don't know who my niche is. But that didn't stop me from still going out and running a business and still doing what I did. It just meant that when I really got clear on my niche and my target market and my ideal client, really and truly, and I don't say this lightly with any stretch of the imagination, miracles actually started to happen, I promise. So, one of the things that I think, one of the messages that I would really love for you to walk away from this Hangout with is really think about the fact that it's about the fact that you're not all things to all people. And also, your niche will evolve over time. It absolutely will. I've been in business for 2.5 years, and I was talking to somebody at the weekend, a very good friend of mine from the Professional Speaking Association, of which I'm a member, and we were talking about the fact that it's taken me 2 years to really get clear, really super clear on my niche. And she says, 2 years, wow, that's quick. And I was sitting there thinking, giving myself a hard time, thinking, oh my good God, it's taken me this long. So if you're still in that, mind frame, don't be. Honestly, don't be. And my brand, my Tiny Time Big Results brand, is only a few months old, but I've gotten amazing results just from being really super clear. And what I found was that everything that I've been sharing with my clients, everything that I've been doing with my groups, everything that I've written about in my blogs, it has all been around Tiny Time Big Results, but it was just around making it really compelling. And what happens is when you make it really compelling, your ideal clients can find you, and that's so crucial. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to sleep. I can't feed you right now because we're live to the world, and I don't want to be feeding you. Okay? So let me talk about these top 3 tips, and then we'll get you sorted. Okay? Was that a pout? You doing a Victoria Beckham pout? Sorry, I can't help it. Listen, this is me. You take it or leave it. My baby gets involved, so I hope you don't mind. Okay, top 3 tips to get you super specific on your niche. This is something that I learned years ago. It's taken me a long time again to just really internalize and to really understand how powerful this can be. Make your niche inch wide, mile deep. I'm going to repeat that because this is really powerful. Make it inch wide, mile deep. So you see, when you are attracting your clients, when you're attracting your ideal clients, you will be bringing them in for a particular reason, that you're solving a really big issue for them. So for me, it's my clients are really struggling because they've got very limited time and they want to know how they can get more things done and how they can get more of the right things done. That's very clear. But then that's not all that I do. There's a mile deep of content, of information, of strategies, techniques that just go far deeper than just about getting things done. So make your niche inch wide, mile deep, because then there's a huge amount of texture and flavor and depth to what it is that you do. But when you make your niche mile wide and inch deep, you're just touching the surface. And that's not really what people want. What I found with my clients and my communities, when I start going deeper into that depth, that's really when they start to get amazing insights. Now, my next tip for you is really think about who your content applies to. You see, I hear so many people talking about it might be health, it might be business coaching, it might be presentation skills, it might be or sales, whatever it might be. But think about who your target market would be. See, the way that I look at it is when you're thinking about your niche, it can either be about very unique content or your content being geared to a very unique group. And that's really where the magic happens. Hey. Hold on 1 second, I'm going to get her a rattle. Yeah. So think about who it appeals to or who it would attract. So again, using the tiny time big results example, for me, I teach a lot about time management, I teach a lot about productivity, I teach a lot about clarity on niche, I teach a lot about how you get organized and structured in your business. You know, there's a lot of things that I would cover, which a lot of other business coaches absolutely cover. But because my target market and my audience and my community are so specific in terms of you're raising a family and you're building a business, then I know who I'm actually targeting my content to, and it also helps me think about the angle that I'm going to be approaching. So something that I'm working on just at the moment and just about finalizing is 25 super success and sanity tips for running a business with tiny people. And this is just a free ebook that you can download. You can go on to yasminvorajee.com. It's not there yet, but if you go to yasminvorajee.com, you'll be able to download it. If you've got tiny people, you know that it's going to apply to you. And then if you haven't got tiny people and you look at it, you're probably thinking, oh, actually, a lot of these things would apply to me as well, but I'm being really clear about who I'm targeting my material to, okay? So be really clear about who your content is actually applying to. And then, this is, oh, you know what? This is probably the one that you're not going to like because it involves you actually going out of your comfort zone, if you will. Go and test your niche. Go and test what it is that you want to do. Go and ask the people who would be in your excuse me, target market and ask them, is this something that would be of interest to you? Do your research. If you get people saying, oh, that sounds interesting, but they're not really that interested, then you probably have to do some work on it. And again, I say this because I was in exactly that position. I used to, I had this program that I was working on, and I'd tell people the title of it, and they'd go, oh, that's nice. And it was never really, oh my God, that's amazing, I really need to find out more about that. Never got that response, maybe from one or two people. And then I realized actually that was just, it wasn't compelling enough. Now when I talk about time big results, people get it. They look at it and go, yeah, oh my God, that's brilliant. Yeah, I love that. Oh my God, I need that. And that's what the response that you want to get. It's taken me time to get to that point. And so when I talk about it evolving, it will evolve. I promise you it will evolve. So don't be thinking, well, I've done all my logo and I've spent money on my branding and I've done X, Y, and Z. And, you know, oh, what do I do now? Don't ever be afraid of being flexible. Don't ever be afraid of just adapting your business and adapting your model, because that's where the miracles will happen. Yeah, sweetheart. Honestly, this is so powerful, and I really just want to be able to get this message across. But do not be afraid of changing your direction. Do not be afraid. Please do not be afraid. So, top 3 tips again. Inch wide, mile deep. Be really clear on who your content applies to. Pick something and go with it. And then test it. Make sure that you're asking your ideal market, your audience, about whether this would be something that would appeal, and get their feedback. Ask them what they're struggling with. It's brilliant. I remember I recently put out a survey and I got some fantastic responses back. And people will tell you, I always reply to surveys. When people ask me to fill in a survey and it's something that would apply to me, I'm always there saying, this is what I'm struggling with. Because I know that there are amazing people out there who are creating amazing solutions, that will be right for me, and you're doing the same thing. You're doing exactly the same thing. You're also helping a lot of people. So you got to make sure that the people you want to help know that you're there. So be really clear. Don't be afraid of niching. Don't be afraid that people won't find you. They will find you a lot quicker when you're more targeted. Now, I know that was a 15-minute micro lesson in niching. Obviously, there's a lot more that we can get into. But I also want to respect your tiny time. What I'd love for you to do is come on over to yasminvorajee.com, sign up for your free 5-minute BizMom challenge, and this is where I'm going to be sharing even more content with you and even more great strategies and techniques. It's just 5 minutes. Can't really get any better than that. I'm sure you've got 5 minutes. And also, what I would love is after this Hangout is finished, put your questions and your comments down. I would love to hear from you and tell me what really struck a chord with you, and what you're going to do. Having listened to this Hangout, what are you going to do different now? If you're still struggling with your niche, if you're still struggling with how you get to your target market, what are you going to do? What are you going to do that's going to be different today? What are you going to do that's different this week? Now, something just pinged at me, so let me make sure I'm not missing any questions. Nope. Okay. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this Hangout. I'm Yasmin Vorajee from yasminvorajee.com. You've got the website address on your screen there. The Tiny Time Big Results expert. And if you are raising a family and building a business, then I would love to be able to help you get more done with your tiny time. So come on over to yasminvorajee.com to get even more amazing content, strategies, ideas, and techniques. You can also find me on Facebook, Tiny Time Big Results with Yasmin Vorajee. I'm also on Twitter at Yas Leading Women, and also on LinkedIn. And if you like this video, then please go ahead and share with your friends, your colleagues, your community, because truth is we need more and more people to come out and actually truly live their potential. And if having your own business is your potential, is how you're going to share your gifts with the world, then we need everyone to do that. So please go ahead and share. I've loved spending this time with you. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next week. So you find me here, Google Hangouts, every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. GMT. So until next time, take care. Bye.